What is up, y'all? Within today's video, we're going to be talking about Jeff Wittek and James Charles again because Jeff Wittek went on to the Just Trish podcast and had some more things to say about James Charles, and low-key, Trisha Paytas was defending James Charles. And I got to keep it real with you guys. I have to keep it real with you guys. I feel like my opinion has shifted just a little bit on this specific topic. And y'all, I've said it before, if you guys remember watching my videos, when it comes down to straight guys hitting on like gay guys and things like this, I'm like, if you guys have had gay friends out there, you guys would know there's some straight guys out there who are a little flirtatious and kind of lead on gay guys, and then there's some out there who will like fully hook up with a gay guy and then be like, oh, you know what I mean, and make it seem like, oh, they were all on them, and it was like, no, actually it was the other way around. But obviously they feel some type of way about it. These types of scenarios I feel like have been, put on blast within the gay community for so long. But also at the same time too, I do have to say there are people out there like James Charles and Jeffree Star who specifically want a straight man, and that's the thing that I never really understood before. And I do have to say, when we talked about the Jeff Wittek situation, to where he was on the podcast with Tana Mojo and they were sitting in the hot tub, and he had made a comment about James Charles hitting on him, that he was really confused about it. That to me right there, I was like, I just don't understand what's up with these gay guys and wanting a straight guy, because it's kind of like, at the end of the day, if a straight guy is hooking up with the guy, you're literally not straight. So I don't get that whole like fantasy of like, oh, a straight guy. It's like, he's literally not straight. Like, if he's literally hooking up with the guy, he's not straight. It's like, let's just say he's bi then, or just full on gay. Do you know what I mean? And obviously I formed that opinion just knowing that side of it right there. Well, now I have to say, after Jeff Wittek being on the Just Trish podcast, I'm like, okay, is my opinion changing just a little bit right here? Because in my personal opinion, and I will play the clip within today's video, I feel like he almost made it seem like he was using James Charles as a stepping stone to get him higher up in his career. And I feel like that's low-key kind of messed up. I feel like that's really kind of dirty. And look, I totally get it. Obviously, James Charles is not like the best person on the planet, and he does have his issues, you know what I mean? But I still feel like at the end of the day, it's kind of like, I don't know, for like Jeff Wittek to go and do that, it's kind of like, that makes me question everything now. And now I'm kind of like questioning, did Jeff Wittek kind of lie about everything? Is he lying about things now because he needs a topic to talk about? He needs the clicks, he needs the views. Do you know what I mean? And if you guys don't recall, and I'll replay the clip within today's video in case you guys don't remember, but when he did that podcast with Tana Mojo, I believe they were in Hawaii in the hot tub, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this fool must really need the money right now, because he obviously used this as his title, and that had like his most views in all of his recent podcasts. So I was a little bit tripped out by this, and obviously I was like, oh, okay, like, I obviously took his word for it, but then now I'm like, what's going on here, Also, too, before we jump into this topic, I do want to ask you guys this question, because I saw this one viral TikTok, and you know what, I'm starting to use the word viral way too loosely, because I just said that right now, and I was like, I don't even know how many views it had. I was just like, viral. I'm like, if it's on my For You page, it has like 25 views. I'm like, the viral video that went around, and it's like, come on, really? Any which ways, I saw a video that went around TikTok. It was on my For You page, and there was a girl talking about like just how bad James Charles is, and she had posted a clip of James Charles on the Impulsive podcast. And she was like, look, like, he literally is saying right in our face that he only likes like an 18 and 19-year-old. And I went back and I looked on everything, and the Impulsive interview that James Charles was on was 3 years ago. And at the time, James Charles, I want to say, was 21 when he did that. So I wanted to ask you guys this question, because I get a little like confused with these things like this. I'm an old man, obviously. I'm freaking 34 years old. So I'm like, to me, the youngest that I would date is 30, but I don't even want to date someone that's 30. I'm like, please, I'm trying to meet somebody that's like 40. Like, literally on my dating profiles right now, I'm like 40 to like 45, because I just can't. I feel like, I don't know, the gay community is a little different. Any which ways, going off on a tangent, my question here is, do you guys feel like that is bad? Because this person obviously, and then of course everyone was like bashing James Charles given his history, and I do obviously understand that. But I was like, a 21-year-old, let's say, for a 19-year-old, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to say, if I'm being real with you guys, I was 18 years old and I was dating a 23-year-old. And looking back on it, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like, I felt like we were like the same mentally. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't really think it was that bad. I don't know if times have changed much. I don't know if it's because of James Charles' history. Like, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on that, because honestly, like, when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, like, if he was 21 and he got with someone that's like 19, I'm kind of like, I don't know. That's only a couple year difference. You know what I mean? I don't really think it's that bad in my personal opinion. I have to say this, though. It's so crazy to me. But when I was 18 years old dating the older guy, I kind of was like, okay, well, you know what? This was like sneaking me into the clubs. I'm getting drinks. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, for me, it was fun because I had a benefit out of it, right? But say, for example, as soon as I hit 21, I never in my life went on a date with somebody younger than me during that time because I was like, as soon as I'm 21, I'm like, if we can't go to the bar together, like, no, I'm not doing it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just so curious to know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are about that. Because obviously, look, I get James Charles' whole history, 100% understand that. But I do think sometimes things do go a little bit too far because I'm kind of like, imagine if James Charles ends up, like, say for example, I want to say he's like 25 right now. Say for example, if he's 25 and he ends up with somebody that's like, 23, I'm like, are people going to bash him for that too? Because I'm going to be like, you know what? I don't want to be out here defending James Charles. Okay, I really don't. But then also at the same time, too, you guys know me. I just keep it real. And I'm like, there's nothing really too bad about that, in my opinion. So please let me know about that age gap thing. Let me take a drink of water and let's get into it. Okay, so I want to start this off by actually playing a little clip from the original podcast that Jeff Wittek did with Tana Mojo, where they were in the jacuzzi and talking about things. And I have to say, like, obviously, if you guys watched my video about this, I was kind of like, I just don't understand what is up with these gay men out here and them fishing for these straight guys. Like, to me, I just don't like that because I want somebody who's secure within their sexuality. Do you know what I mean? And I don't really understand. I have to say, like, Jeffree Star has always talked about him and straight guys. I feel like, and low-key, I feel like James Charles is kind of the same way. I feel like there is, a selected group of gay people out there that are like so motivated by the chance to flip a straight man that it really turns them on. And I do feel like James Charles is low-key like that, but I have to say, and I have to keep it real with you guys, when I was obviously forming an opinion about the situation, I was like, what the hell is up with James Charles? Like, I just don't get this. Like, oh my gosh, go for somebody who's secure within their sexuality. And I have to say, hearing this from Jeff Wittek, I was kind of like, damn, like, James Charles needs to get it together. Now hearing him on the Just Trish podcast, which we'll get into the clip after, I was like, what's really going on here? What's the truth? Because now I'm second guessing myself. I'm second guessing my opinion. I'm second guessing that video because obviously I was like, I don't want to say talking trash about James Charles. I really wasn't. But I did obviously have a different opinion because I'm like, what the hell is up with you? Like, oh my gosh, go for a gay man. Like, stop going for these like straight guys and trying to flip them and things like this because it makes us all look bad. Do you know what I mean? It all makes us look like the P word. You guys know what word I'm talking about. So I'm just kind of like, don't do that, Anyways, go ahead and check out this clip right here.
James Charles, he preys on young straight men. And he used to text me shit like, I want you to come over and watch a movie. And I'm like, where are you getting these vibes from that I'm that type of guy at all that would do that? So like he asked me to come over his house and watch movies and shit, and he would text me weird shit, and I was just like laughing
what else? What'd he say?
I never entertained it. And
cut my asshole hair, daddy.
I went and did collabs with him because I was trying to grow my career, and I relate to those Kevin Spacey guys.
Okay, so as you guys saw from right there, obviously, if you just see that, you're like, oh my gosh, like, what the hell? Like, James Charles is kind of like a weirdo. Like, what the hell is up with him? Like, why are you, like, trying with this straight guy? It just doesn't make any type of sense. Get it together. But then now you see Jeff Wittek on the Just Trish podcast, and you're kind of like, okay, you're saying that you had to, like, do what you had to do to, like, move ahead in your career. So in my head, that kind of seems as in like, oh, well, let me flirt with him. Let me lead him on. Let me toy him around so that way I can be in videos with him. And obviously I'm going to grow my career. That's just my opinion. And I have to say, I am so sorry, but I think that is so messed up and so shady. And I just feel like, I don't know, things like that just, like it kind of rubs me the wrong way. And so far I've actually liked Jeff Wittek. I feel like he seems like a really cool guy. But then after hearing this, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I kind of was like, I don't know how I feel about him now because I'm like, look, I get it. At the end of the day, you do have to do what you have to do if you really want to make it in this industry. But doing things like that, it really does make me question your character. That way you guys know what I'm talking about. Go ahead and check out this clip right here from the Just Trish podcast.
Episode with Tana, you said you were confused when a guy wanted to watch a movie and cuddle.
Oh, that was James Charles. Yeah.
Oh.
So
what were you confused about?
That he knows I'm a straight man and still asked me to come do that.
Oh, interesting. But in his defense, right, I did watch the collab with you guys, and you were down to do like a full body massage. Like you were down to get a full body massage oil.
Yeah, I joke around.
Maybe he didn't get the joke. Because I can understand it from his perspective. Maybe he thought it was a sign. Don't you see how it can be misconstrued as flirting?
Shoot me. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
I did what I had to do. I did what I had to do to make it in this business and in this town,
Oh my God. This is why I feel bad for James Charles, and I never feel bad for James Charles. I'm like, well, damn, I'd be confused too.
Whatever, we hooked up. No, I'm kidding.
God. That's the title. Hooked up with James Charles. I feel bad for James in that sense. He probably gets a lot of people that flirt. And then I would be confused too. If someone's like, do you want to do a full body massage? I'd be like, I guess, okay. And then
I am clearly a straighty.
I don't know if that's clear. I really don't. Because you say a lot like, oh, that's gay or whatever. Like sometimes that's a little bit hiding something. Do you know what I mean? Like a straight guy will try to hide. I'm not saying you are.
Every one of my friends and employees and people I surround myself with are either gay or lesbian or bisexual.
So as y'all saw from right there, there's a different side of it. I do have to say, I am so glad that Trisha was like, let me ask this fool these questions and let me bring up this example, talking about getting a full body rub and things like that. Like, I'm really glad that she said that, because honestly, I really do feel like he was spinning this narrative of like, oh, James just kept on trying to get at him. But then obviously now you can see that he was down to do these things. And obviously he was doing it to further his career, which I'm just kind of like, okay, then don't get out here and make it seem like James is this type of way. Because in my opinion, this is where a lot of people get a bad, perception about the gay community, and you start grouping everyone together and start thinking that every gay person is like this. And honestly, yes, I do know that there are several gays out there, lesbians as well, that are just kind of like, you know what, I like to flip a straight person. It's like their goal. And I get that whole thing. But obviously, when you're on a public platform like this, I don't know. I kind of don't like that. It kind of gave me a little bit of an ick, to be quite honest with you. And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to defend James Charles whatsoever. We all know him. We all know his character. We all know how he is. But I really do feel like this is really bad on Jeff's behalf too. And low key, y'all, I feel like it really is, perpetuating this image of the gay community looking a certain type of way. And I'm like, clearly you were over here doing what you have to do to make it. And I just don't really like that, in my personal opinion. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.